Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being back. My name is Yesenia with the YesJJ Show, and I'm so proud to announce my two special guests today. Let's get into it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have Shanice Flax today, and we also have Totally Randy, two mamas that are great mothers and have great, very, very important stories here. Please, let's get into it. So, Miss Shanice,
Yeah.
we are gonna just kind of have a conversation, all three of us.
Absolutely.
Anybody that would like to answer can answer.
Sure.
But we are talking about motherhood. I would love for you to kind of just share a little bit about your motherhood journey and your delivery as well,
Okay.
with us, just so we could kind of get a little bit of background
Okay.
about you.
Okay. So I have three kids. My oldest is 10, 9, and then I just had a baby out here in Harris County at Ben Taub Hospital.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
She's now just turned 6 months. So I think we all know how Harris County is with Black maternal health. I just wasn't expecting it because yes, I do have a great job. I'm college educated. I didn't know that certain hospitals are county hospitals or,
Right.
service certain things or are better at certain things. So I just had a very horrible experience at Ben Taub Hospital. And, I wish somebody would have told me not to go there or to look up doctors beforehand or, have a birthing plan with a certain hospital. But coming from California, I didn't have any problems whatsoever. So, during that time, I developed a collapsed lung. I was septic. Fever was like 103, heart rate over 130, 140. And then to be completely ignored about my pain, about what I was facing in that hospital, in that bed, is I think that's the most frustrating part about the whole experience is that most of the stuff could have been avoided if they would have just listened to me.
It was preventable.
It was
It was
preventable.
preventable. Yes, it was.
And then they come with emergency. It's an emergency C-section. It's always an
It
emergency.
is. Yes.
Mhm.
They
You
push
know what I
fear.
mean? They
Yes, they
push
do.
fear to like, oh, your baby's heart rate's dropping. They've literally said that about all three of my kids. So is it me or is it you
No,
at this
Right.
point?
exactly. I had
Right.
a similar experience. So
Yeah.
the belly band was kept falling off.
Mm,
It kept falling off and it kept falling off, and they kept telling me, "Oh, we need to cut you up, a C-section. Hurry, rush, rush, rush." And within all that rushing, I was like, "No, I don't want a C-section.
right.
I want to have my baby natural. Like where his heart rate is fine. The belly band just
Coming
fell, and
off.
there's little technical things that happen as well
Yeah.
that they don't consider."
Yeah.
And it's yeah, I truly understand. And
Yeah.
so what happened after the
So after the delivery, I went home and well, I had to stay in the hospital for 7 days.
okay.
So
Wow.
normally after a C-section, you're getting up, you're walking.
Mhm.
I couldn't walk for like the first 3 or 4 days. They weren't feeding me the only water liquid
What?
diet.
Oh my
So
gosh.
for like 5 days, I'm on a water liquid diet.
Did
And
they tell you why?
just because they wanted to see about the infection or
Yeah.
whatever reasons they gave, it was like, oh, we just need to make sure that you're okay, so you need to be passing gas, making bowel movements. I'm like, I can't even get up.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when I would ask my husband sometimes to help me, they're like, oh, don't help her, she needs to be able to get up by herself. And I'm like,
I was like, no.
they
What?
weren't giving pain, they were giving me ibuprofen, Tylenol, that's it.
That's
And
it.
so when I asked for like, excuse me, I'm in serious pain here. They treated me like I was some dopehead.
Oh
Right.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
Because
Yeah.
Black women, brown women, they look at us like, oh, they're just here for a hit. I'm not here to get high. I'm
Absolutely.
Black, I'm educated, I'm in here having a
And I
baby.
just had a baby.
I just had a baby. You just cut layers of my skin
Layers
open.
and layers.
Mind you, Ben Taub is a teaching hospital. So they had students in there watching and they're like, oh, don't do this or cut through this. And I'm hearing that was the longest C-section I've ever had. My other kids,
Mm.
30 minutes.
Oh
With her, it was like 45 to an hour.
Wow.
And so many things with the epidural. They had to stick me twice. It was a student that did it.
my
Stuck me
gosh.
twice, almost. And you can get like paralyzed from
Yes.
the wrong
Absolutely.
the wrong
Absolutely.
hit.
Absolutely. I still have back pain
Me too.
Yeah.
from
Me
epidural.
too.
Babies.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like one of the worst experiences I've ever
Yeah.
had. And it was challenging, even going home. It was I couldn't really care for my baby as well. I'm glad we had family. My husband had his family there to help me. I had my kid's grandma there. So if it wasn't for them, I don't think I would even have made it.
Have made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you don't eat right, your supply, your milk supply goes down, and you have to eat properly and
Mhm.
get enough calories in every day, and it just trickles so much more,
Yeah.
and I'm so sad that you had to go
Me
through that, and
too.
I'm very sorry that you really did have to go
You
through
know
that.
what? Thanks for that. By the grace of God, And to put the cherry on top of the cake, she had jaundice. So we weren't even
Oh,
able
poor
to
baby.
see her. Like
Oh,
I couldn't see her. My husband would go walk and
Yeah.
see her.
yes.
But it was the wildest birthing experience I've ever had. So thank
I
you guys
do.
though for
I
that.
cannot
I
imagine. I just want to ask, how long did it take you to recover? Or
I'm
are you
still
still
recovering.
recovering?
You're still recovering. Yeah.
I'm still recovering.
Yeah. 6 months later, and it's
6 months
still a
later, I'm still in
process.
pain.
Yeah.
Had to go back to urgent cares, ERs because got infected.
Oh my
So, and they're
gosh.
like, oh, we just gotta let it close. And I'm like,
I'm like, no,
what do you
there's
mean?
no. It's
Yeah.
layers and
It's
layers,
layers.
layers and
So
layers of
something
skin.
could be infected underneath
Under
one layer.
layer, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was just overall out here in Harris County. I didn't want to believe it. I was very optimistic about, having a Black African doctor. I was very optimistic about her being my doctor.
Okay.
And then for her to not even be there during the procedure, I had all these doctors I never talked to, never met,
Never mind.
and,
So your main doctor was not there.
was not there.
Was not there. And you chose her.
I chose
You
her.
chose her, and she wasn't there that day.
Wow.
That's so concerning, especially in like the healthcare industry where, they know you specifically,
Mhm.
they know what your needs are, what you can and cannot do.
Yeah.
And for them just to throw you into the wolves, like they
Yeah.
said, it's so heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking.
And not to
Um,
get in your business,
Mhm.
and please let me know if you want to answer this,
Yeah.
but did you have private insurance?
Not at the time, no.
Okay.
Okay.
So you
I
had
had Medicaid.
Medicaid.
Mm.
Okay.
Pregnancy Medicaid, and
Yeah,
that
totally.
has a lot to do
To
with
do
it.
with it.
Mhm.
It does.
It
Yes.
does.
It does. I
Mhm.
felt like when I also had Medicaid having my baby,
Mhm.
and they just try to milk me every which way.
Mhm.
They try to give unnecessary, like, tests.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Sometimes they'll tell you to do a pap smear while you're pregnant, and that's
Mhm.
actually very, very bad for you. You can get infections
Yeah.
Yeah,
while
that's
you're
crazy.
pregnant.
A
You
pap smear while you're pregnant is crazy.
they told me to do one, and I refused. I was like, no, we're gonna
That's crazy.
leave that till later. That could
Mhm.
wait.
That could be done
Yeah,
later.
that could be
Yeah.
done later. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
So they really will try to milk you if you
Mhm.
do have good insurance or a certain type of
Because I was
insurance.
about to say, even with private insurance, the pregnancy Medicaid helps offset the cost because it is
Yes.
so
It's
expensive.
so expensive.
So if you guys, I don't know which
Yeah,
camera,
which camera?
but if you are looking to have a baby,
Yeah.
just
It's
think about the cost.
very expensive.
Yes.
It is expensive
Very.
once the baby, when the baby is inside and once the
Mhm.
baby is out.
Is out.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Walk us
yeah,
through it.
yeah.
I would also love to hear your story. I know it's a little bit more touchy.
I can't even say that because my heart goes out to all mothers
Yeah.
It does.
who have gone through. I mean, and just because I actually died, or as my husband liked to say, don't say died because you're still alive.
Yeah.
I went through cardiac arrest. My
Yeah.
heart stopped. That meant my baby's heart stopped because she was still in me.
Mm.
Just because that happened to me, I don't think it's any worse than anything
That
because
women go through.
mothers should not have to experience any of the things that we experience when we're bringing life into this world.
Mhm.
And I am so angry still because
Me too.
there's so much. So let me tell it fast. I can be
Yes,
long-winded.
no
I'm
worries.
sorry.
We love stories.
And it's so great that we're having this conversation today
It
because
is.
today is my son's 8-year-old birthday.
Ah, congratulations. Happy birthday.
Lennox the Great is 8.
Lennox, happy birthday. We love you.
And so, when I had his sister, first same thing, when I
Mhm.
first had him, it was, you have to have an emergency C-section and
Mhm.
we are losing his heart rate. I don't know if that's like,
Same
That's,
thing
know
they
if it's
told
like
me the
say.
same thing.
You
They
know?
told me
the
the same
exact
thing.
same thing.
I'm thinking to myself, like, maybe that's in a script somewhere
Mhm.
because,
Yes.
like, why are we doing this? And so I'd had an emergency C-section with him. So when it came to my daughter, they were like, you have to have you have to have a C-section because you had one with your
With the
son,
first.
and you like rip stuff open, and we don't want to do that. And so, um, they told me I had to, I was set up for that. But as you know, children can take your teeth.
Mhm.
And so she was giving me a really bad toothache.
Oh.
And I went to Texas Children, Texas Women's, the
Women's
Women's,
Hospital.
yeah,
Yeah.
Texas Children's, the Women's Pavilion,
Mm-hmm.
just to get a release so that I can take it to the dentist and get
Get the
x-rays
work.
and get stuff
Mhm.
done. Well, they looked and saw that I don't take blood for religious reasons. And they said, let's do your C-section now, today. And I said, excuse
Like,
me,
what?
why? I was like, hold on, wait a minute, why?
I didn't walk in here for that.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
little did I know, and I would learn later, that 6 weeks before me, a beautiful nurse practitioner had a son. And after she had her son, she started bleeding profusely.
Mm.
The father, saw the doctor call for blood twice. First of all, why isn't blood if she takes blood? Why isn't
Yes.
ready to give? It should be there. It's a
Should.
pregnancy.
Yes.
He called for blood twice, and that beautiful soul died in the hallway, said the father. And I feel like, and this is why I told that father that I would be a witness because she was at the same hospital as me.
Mm.
I feel like because of that, she died 6 weeks before us. They saw an opportunity to say, hey, we're going to do this C-section without blood and just kind of, I don't know, add that to how they're making up for
Offset.
the preventable death that took place with her.
Oh,
Mm.
And so I begged them. I said, hey, there's nobody here with me. Let me at least call my husband. I was on the phone with my sisters and I was crying profusely.
Mm.
And so the doctor came in and he was like, why are you crying? And I said, because we die here.
yeah.
Yes, we
Oh
do.
my gosh.
Mothers die
We
here.
do.
Mhm.
We do. And we're in such the minority groups are the ones that get hit the most,
Yes.
and it's so unfortunate because we see it every day, all these new mothers to be, like even mothers that have had kids before, and
Mhm.
it's just it we all get wrapped in the same wrapping when
And
you
at
go into
high
that hospital.
rates.
At
And
And
at
at
very high
higher
rates.
rates.
And I love that you said you're an educated woman because education doesn't even
It
stop.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't
does
matter. You're an
not.
educated woman. You kind of go up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
it
You know, and
does.
I put that on one of my carousels I did when it was Black Maternal Health Week. You
Mhm.
know, an educated woman. There was a professor, a doctor actually, who passed away in January of
Mhm.
2026. You
Mhm.
know, because again, it's systemic.
Yeah.
And I say that because, and a lot of people don't like to hear this. You don't like to hear systemic
They
racism.
hate it.
You hate to hear it because you feel like, oh, well, people aren't slaves anymore. That doesn't mean that
It
They
does not
always
mean
hit us with we have the same privileges, we have the same this. No, we do
we
not.
do
no, we
not.
don't.
When systemically it has been
An
our
oppression.
oppressing us
Mhm.
systemically.
And not only that, it's ignoring us.
Mm-hmm.
It's being negligent,
Mm-hmm.
like not having blood
Mhm.
available when you know this person, like when a pregnancy
Needs.
requires blood
Mhm.
and we lose blood having a baby, it is being negligent, it is ignoring our pain, it is giving us less than, giving us
Yes.
Tylenol versus what we pain from.
Because what is the overall that saying that doctors used to say
Mhm.
because of they did that study on skulls of black people, it was the what is it called, the genome, some book that somebody wrote years ago,
Mhm.
that they said that black people can take more pain than white
Oh,
people
yes.
can.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I'm like, no.
Right.
Yeah, there's a
No.
book, I forgot what it's called,
I,
but
I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
or the same, like, I mean, and forget the book that's being written. I mean, RFK said it recently
Hmm.
that we don't have to be on the same vaccine schedule. Like, this is
Mm-mm. This is
insane.
insane.
This is
It's
insanity. We are
insane.
all humans. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what your skin color is on the outside. On the inside, your blood is blue.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like it kills me when I hear some of the same things. And so here I am. They give me a chance to let my husband come in.
Mhm.
You know, they take me back there again, didn't listen to me the same way they didn't listen to you.
Yeah.
When they gave me the epidural and laid me down, first they laid me down and my legs were still turned this way. So it's already hitting me and
Yeah, I can't move.
Yeah.
I can't move. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to swing my legs because I can feel that they're turned
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to swing my legs and he says, stop trying to move. And I said, yeah, I don't feel right.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
You're
feel right.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
And he comes over, you're okay. You're okay. And I was like, that's interesting because in me, I'm in my own body. How
Yeah.
you're not in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know how I
How I'm
feel.
feeling at that
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, I don't feel right. And immediately I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, according to what they wrote, I seized. I would bite both sides of my tongue and my cheeks,
Mm.
and then my heart will stop.
Mm.
And they would have to, now they said this happened in a minute, but I want you to hear what they did in 60 seconds.
Mm.
They said after I seized and my heart stopped, that they gave me epidural. They gave me epinephrine
Oh.
to restart my heart.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They did chest compressions and mouth to mouth. How do you do that in 60 seconds?
Ain't no way.
No.
There's no way.
There
Ain't
isn't.
no way.
Because
No.
not only did you do that, but while people were doing that to me, before they did that, they cut out the baby. The baby wasn't out. They did not start cutting on me yet. I died with my baby in me.
Mm.
They would cut the baby out, make sure she's okay because her heart stopped because
Her
mine
heart
did.
stopped, yeah.
And then they would revive me.
Oh my gosh.
Like, this is insane. And
It's
then they would
insane.
lie
Yeah.
on my paperwork.
That's horrible.
They would
They
switch
lied
my
on my
nurses.
paperwork,
Right.
too.
Change my
Yeah.
nurses. I never had the same nurse. They would change my nurses.
Me too.
And it was the
Yes.
last nurse that came in that told me, hey, 6 weeks before you, a woman died here.
Same
She said, look her up and find her.
place. Oh.
And it just so happened that I knew the father of her child.
Oh my gosh.
That
and it's-
switching nurses is crazy.
It is.
My husband, they had so with the epidural, I had to get stuck twice, got
Mhm.
stuck. All of a sudden, instead of my lower half getting numb, my whole upper chest to my chin.
Oh
Mhm.
my god.
And I said, well, hold on,
You can't
I
feel.
can't feel up here.
Mhm.
So the nurse comes in, another the anesthesiologist comes in. He's like, "Oh yeah, we're having a problem with all of these packs. The whole row, every woman in labor and delivery up here that got this pack of medicine with the epidural is is up to their chest."
Oh my god.
So then they had to take that one out. So now I'm still feeling the contractions. It
Mhm.
took about like 3 more hours for the other medicine to finally hit to where it was supposed to.
You see what I'm
To
saying?
kick
You
in,
see why I'm
yes.
saying that I don't care that my heart stopped? This is atrocious. This is
Mhm.
egregious.
Mm-hmm.
And it's things like that when I sit and think, and when I finally do come back and I'm revived, and I'm so grateful to God.
Amen.
Oh yes.
And when I'm saying, like, I always say that babies are crying when they're born because that breath of life hurts. I
Yeah.
mean, everything was in pain. My chest, they were pushing on my chest. My chest felt like it was going to cave in.
Mm-hmm.
They had the mask over me. I was fighting because I'm thinking someone's trying to
Something's
kill
going
me.
on.
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah,
You don't know
somebody's
what's
trying
going
to kill
on.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You came back.
So
yeah.
there's the doctor saying, she's fighting me, but he's trying to give me the oxygen. There's a nurse that I never got her name. She's nowhere in my paperwork,
Mhm.
and I never saw her again, but she's in snot and tears
Mhm.
over me saying, oh my God, we almost lost you. I thought you were gone. I never saw her again.
Oh my gosh.
No one has her name
Mm-mm.
and anything. And to make matters worse, Greg Abbott, yes, the one that Gina is running up against, the one that his seat is very close to losing, he said, you only have 2 years to sue a hospital.
Oh.
Now, how long does it take a mommy to recover a regular, normal, healthy birth? 2 to 5 years.
2 to 5 years.
2 to 5 years.
Yes. To fully
To
recover.
fully
recover.
recover.
Fully
5 years
recover.
mentally for sure.
Yes. The
For
mom
sure.
mom fog, the body, everything
Everything.
changes.
Hormones.
Everything. Hormones.
So here I am.
Oh,
I just died with my baby. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I just got hit by a
came
car,
up.
Oh.
Yes,
3 years
recently.
ago, prior, right?
Mm.
I am literally trying to wrap my head around all of this. I'm dealing with doctors
Mm-hmm.
and all of these people coming in, heart people monitoring my heart,
Mm-hmm.
trying to find something on me to say I'm the reason why my heart stopped.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
my
No, sorry, I'm a thicker girl, but baby, she's healthy.
That ain't
Yeah.
it.
She's a healthy
No.
That
girl.
ain't it.
I
No.
work out.
Yeah.
No.
And so you can't find anything on me. And then on top of that, no lawyer will take my case because I survived.
I haven't even crossed that road
Yeah.
because you have to prove medical negligence. And if all of the doctors and nurses are saying
On
one
the same
thing,
thing.
then why would they believe you?
Yeah.
When
Right.
they would come and do my check my vitals and my heart rate was 140 and I'm telling them I can't, like, I feel like I'm about to pass out.
Yes.
Like I feel off.
Yes.
They would delete the chart.
Mm-hmm.
They deleted. I heard them say, okay, let's just delete it, because once that gets sent over to the doctors, they have to come in and see me.
Yes.
You know how many times then doctors had to come in and see me because my
My heart
heart
was
rate,
down.
Up there.
it was like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, just delete it. I'm like, can you guys do that?
Yeah.
Like,
Is that
yeah, you're
legal?
okay.
Like,
Yeah, I'm
yes.
not okay.
And you're talking to them like they are doing things the right way. The same way that I said, hey, I heard them arguing about how much
Right.
anesthesia to give me.
Right.
Do
Me
we go
too.
by pounds or do we go by kilos? They were arguing. My husband was there when we both heard them arguing about it. So, did they give me too much anesthesia? Only for the doctor to say, no, they were arguing about antibiotics. Why would they give me
Yeah,
antibiotics?
for
I didn't
what?
take
now.
You weren't even taking
There's no
that,
infection
taking them
yet.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for what? No.
I
They
said,
try
"That's
to cover up
Everything.
everything that they
Yeah.
that goes on in those rooms, you
Mhm.
know, and that really leads me to my next question. Like, how can we advocate for women, you know, in these type of rooms? Like, what's something that you guys, you know, with your own experience have been able to be like, look, I need someone there. I need a support team. I need a birthing, you know, like a birthing chart for them to get, you know, give them before, prior to stepping into a hospital, you know?
right.
What do you think that it's a great, you know, way to advocate
I
in
think
those senses?
what we're doing right now is a great way.
Yes.
You know, me not being from Texas, from
Mhm.
Houston, I think having somebody that could have told me a little more
Mhm.
would have helped me out.
Yeah.
I think it's going to those Black maternal health expos, going to these, you know, Rodney Ellis throws things like that all the time. You know, it's about educating yourself and educating these young Black girls growing up who want to start a family out here. And if you're, no matter rich, poor, what type of medical insurance you got, it really doesn't matter. It really is a bias and a racism in the medical field, in hospitals. It is, you know, and even with having a Black doctor, I think that kind of made me, it made me like way madder than I should have been, because I can expect that from a white doctor.
Mhm.
But having a Black doctor that really just, you know, didn't adhere to nothing that I wanted.
Yeah.
It had been over 10 years since I had a C-section. I wanted to have natural birth.
Mhm.
I switched to this doctor at 38 weeks pregnant because my doctor I had been seeing the whole time, she didn't do VBACs.
Oh.
So I had to switch. And I'm like, oh, I got a Black doctor. You know,
Mhm.
it's about having a birthing plan. It's about, you know, being able to not to like plan your births.
Mhm.
You know, I planned this baby.
Mhm.
So I thought, since I planned this one is going to be the one that
Right.
is going to be okay for
Smoother.
me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was the absolute worst. Not only am I 10 years older, you know, my body isn't what it was when it was 18.
Right.
Yes.
So now I'm having to go through these moments where it's like, dang, I can feel it a little bit. You know, I'm getting
Yeah.
older.
Yeah.
Being pregnant at an older age is like, in 30 is not even old, but pregnancy wise, that is like later on. It's
It
later
is.
on the
It's
clock.
close to geriatric, which is
Yeah.
35.
Yes.
Yeah,
So it's
35 is
later
geriatric.
on the clock.
Yeah.
So my body just couldn't handle it, you know.
Mhm.
And I would just say for these young girls to go to these Black maternal health expos. We need more Black women in the medical field. We need more Black men in the medical field. We don't just need doctors, we need nurses. We need front entrance people.
Anesthesiologist.
Anesthesiologists.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on them
Oh,
Right.
anesthesiologists.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But
they make a lot of money
they
too.
sure
And
do.
Yeah.
you know, it's they're like you're holding lives in your hand. And
Mhm.
just to piggyback off Shanice, because I think it was so great that she started with this conversation,
Mhm.
is because I need more media. I don't know. I'm gonna look at all three cameras.
Mhm.
I need you, media, to
To
start amplifying our stories,
Yep.
start amplifying and putting a heavy weight on legislation
Mhm.
being created around Black maternal health. Rodney Ellis did do something for Black Maternal Health Week, but the city was
The
quiet.
city was quiet.
The
Yes. I didn't
city
hear a
was
lot.
The city
quiet.
was quiet.
Mm.
I need the city, like, if you care, we're supposed to be pro-life. Where are the
Yes. Where are
pro-lifers?
the
What
pro-lifers at?
happened?
Where are the pro-lifers?
Yes.
Like, not only are you dealing with a baby, but doesn't my life matter?
moms.
Doesn't the mother's life
Yeah.
matter?
Yes.
Like,
I feel like sometimes we forget about the moms and all this whole
yeah,
pregnancy process, you know? It's like, hello, we're the ones making the whole baby. We
Yeah.
have to feel good. We
absolutely.
have to feel like our best because we are creating another life, you know? And
Yes.
we get forgotten. We really
Yeah.
do get, as soon as you have that baby, mom's on the back burner,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
it shouldn't be like that. We should
Right.
definitely switch the culture for us to be more supported during this
Yeah.
time.
And
It really is support.
we need the media surrounding it, and we
Yes, we
need
do.
people to advocate. Like, when we're talking about advocation, we're not just talking about birth planning for mothers to have to take in, because she had one.
Yeah.
You're looking at her.
Yeah.
She had a great
I
birth
had a great
plan.
birth plan.
Great birth
Yeah.
plan, and still it went left. And that's because we're not holding these hospitals, doctors,
Mm-mm.
and insurance companies accountable.
Accountable.
And
Accountable.
like she said, it's so hard to sue these hospitals and these doctors. You know, I looked up so many places like that take medical malpractice
Right.
suits. And you know, this is where AI comes in handy.
Right.
Show me the
Yes.
statistics. Show me how many people win these. I'm gonna show you all my info, give you all my stats.
Right.
Let me know where I'm at.
Yes.
So before I even start the process, I'm not disillusioned that I'm gonna win or I'm not, you
Absolutely.
know.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Blindfolded.
Yeah.
Going in there. You know.
So
Going in.
you
Yeah.
know, and the odds are against me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, me and my husband, we make kind of good money, but not good money to where I'm gonna be fighting this case for 2-3 years
Right.
No,
because lawyers aren't free.
they're
That's
not.
right.
You know,
They're expensive.
they're very
Very
expensive.
expensive.
You know, I plan on law school next fall, so I'm trying to
Let's
get in
go.
there
Let's go.
because I want to be on that other side of
Yeah.
advocation.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah,
I want to be able to start a nonprofit that I can start the nonprofit that can help pay for legal fees, and I can be the lawyer to help and find other lawyers that are willing to
To
process
help.
that.
Yeah, to help
So
those.
you know,
This might be a connection,
It-
JJ, that you
yeah.
made, because I am working on a nonprofit as well
mm,
to put mothers in a safe space
mm.
after they have their baby. So mothers who have gone through this, because
I wish
we
I would have
we
had
don't
that.
get measured.
We don't.
Clock it.
Yes.
We don't get measured.
Seriously.
Because
When it comes to us going through these experiences,
Yeah.
there's no data.
there
No.
is
There's
it.
no data on how many Black women
None.
die, on how many Black women have collapsed lungs and
Mhm.
malpractice.
Mhm.
There's no data on it.
Hemorrhaging. Yes.
Right,
Hemorrhaging.
hemorrhaging, there's
preeclampsia.
no
I had
data.
that bad.
And
Yes.
right, and I've
never had
known
it before.
so many. And so many, even child, like even the babies, like the mothers who had preeclampsia, and I had a mother who had preeclampsia. I knew her baby, they pulled the baby out with like the little scopes.
vacuum?
No, they had
The tongs?
they had the
The
tongs,
tongs.
Yes.
which was
Oh.
so wild,
I.
and literally killed the baby.
Vaginal.
Yes, and then wrapped the baby up and gave it to her and said she had a stillborn. This is not, if you guys are thinking about the one where the doctor decapitated the baby's head
Oh.
and did the same thing. No, this is not that story. This is another story.
Another
And the
story.
data is nowhere.
It's so hard. It's so hard to even look for stats on
Yeah.
on
Because
this.
it's not being collected.
It's not
Oh my
recorded.
God, that's so
And they lie on top
Yeah.
of that. So they're lying, not recording it, and it's getting brushed under the rug, you know?
Yeah.
And we don't deserve that. I feel like mothers do a lot for the community, for our families, for everyone around, for us to be treated lesser of in those
Absolutely.
instances, you know?
Absolutely.
And in this case, you know, I really do feel like what's a way that we could, you know, like support one another during those times. Like, I know it's already hard to have a baby. Postpartum, the 40 days is, oh my gosh, the worst, you know. You
Right.
can't even move. I
Yeah.
couldn't move for like a week after I had my baby too. Like, it
Yeah.
was just,
I
it
mean,
was
same.
36 hours of labor was not fun for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was insane. And with them scaring you and doing
Yeah.
all this, and now you're stressed out, you're not
Mhm.
making milk, you're
Mhm.
going through so much at that
Mhm.
time, you know. And I really feel like we need those groups, you know, even if it's one person that you can lean on and be like, hey, this is how I'm feeling, because we don't get heard in the hospitals.
Mm-mm.
They literally overlook your feelings, how you're
Your
your
pain.
pain, you know, all of that. And it's so important. It's so serious. Sometimes us Hispanics, it's a language barrier thing, and you
Mm.
know, you're trying to tell them in
That's a
Spanish.
good one.
You don't even have. They're all English speaking doctors, and now you can't even communicate what you're feeling.
Yes.
It's very. Oh my gosh, it's
And
very
that's a
important.
whole nother
Frustrating.
Very,
That's
very
a
aspect.
whole
important.
nother
That is a
aspect.
whole nother
Is.
aspect of
It
it,
really,
right?
really is. And it's just, it's so saddening to see. And I feel like women don't deserve that in general. Mothers don't deserve that in general.
No.
And the families that get affected as well, you know.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
it trickles down, you know. It really
I said that.
does.
I said that, you know, babies are not only losing mothers. I said brothers are losing sisters,
Mhm.
husbands are losing wives,
Yep.
and communities are losing matriarchs.
Yes.
We are the matriarchs in our families. And when we have these experiences, even when we survive, the mental
So
disruption
traumatizing.
is so traumatized. I have PTSD.
Me
I
too,
was
from
working at,
hospitals.
Me
not
too.
not even just that. I was working out yesterday with my coach, and my heart rate got up to a place it hadn't been in a while.
Yeah.
And I fell on my knees and I said, am I going
No,
to
don't.
die?
I know.
Like, I felt like my heart was going to stop.
That is the scariest
It
feeling,
is. It is.
especially when you know that feeling
Yes.
and you have to calm yourself down before you overreact because maybe you just worked out a little too hard,
Yeah.
or maybe something is effing wrong.
Yes.
You know,
But no
do the
answer
test,
was given.
but
No
none.
answer were given. So I don't know why my heart stopped.
Mm.
Nobody has an
They
answer.
still don't have an answer now.
So I'm like, is it going to stop again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then is it going to happen again to someone
Yeah.
else? You know, because we keep going in there blindly, completely
Yeah.
blind, and then
Mhm.
they scare us. They use all these scare tactics.
Mhm.
Oh, your baby's heart rate, or this or that, and it's like we're stressing out. We can't even have the baby in peace. You know, birthing. You know, like our plan, like we think in our
Yeah.
plan. Like I had a birth plan, and it didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
You know, and I just really want to know what would you like to really see these hospitals implement, you know, for us to have a safer net while going there. Like, what would
Yeah.
you say?
I would say that. I would say for hospitals to partner with nonprofits,
Mhm.
partner with
Doulas.
Doulas and
advocates,
midwives.
and have a section, have a small small corner
Yeah,
office
that's all you
Yes.
need.
in that doggone hospital where if a mother is in need, if a mother is scared, there is a call she can make.
Yes.
And someone can go up there as her advocate. Someone can go up there after she has her baby. Someone can go up there and say, okay, afterwards, here's your plan. What's your plan when you go home? And here's what we can do for you.
Yeah.
Help.
So working
Yes.
with us, working with, and like I said, this might be an opportunity and calling for us to create something together
Yeah.
to where we would establish that in Harris County.
Mhm.
Because Harris County
Houston.
doesn't have it.
It doesn't.
There's a lot. Shout out to the doulas and
Yeah.
all the Dr. Charlie King.
Yeah.
Absolutely love you.
Shout out to the
Shout out
doulas,
to
the
everyone
midwives.
that
Yes.
the midwives, the advocates
Midwives.
that are here in the city, but we all need to come together, create a coalition that the hospitals are required
To have.
tap
To do.
into.
Yes.
And just imagine, I'm married. I have a great husband who's there for me. You know, I came out here with some family, but most of
Same.
my family's in California. Imagine being a young Black girl, young Hispanic girl with nobody.
No one.
And you go into that hospital and you leave that hospital by yourself.
I can't.
I couldn't
I couldn't
imagine.
imagine.
I can't.
I couldn't imagine.
I couldn't even.
How do these women do it when these young women do that?
Yeah. I had a friend which her husband was out of state and she
Mm.
actually went into labor, and he unfortunately wasn't able to like come back soon, you know, like sooner.
Mhm.
And she actually went into the hospital by herself,
Mhm.
had her baby by herself and was there for hours before anybody could get to her. And that was just so heartbreaking because I was like, all the things that happened to me, to
Mhm.
us in those hours,
Yeah.
those are that's the time that you need someone the most.
Yeah,
Need
yeah.
someone the most,
Someone,
yeah.
just someone to lean on, someone to talk to, someone to keep pushing you through that.
Mhm.
It's such a hard time, and I couldn't imagine doing it alone. I really
couldn't
couldn't.
imagine.
And then they cut you up. They do all types of stuff to you. They
Yeah.
give you all types of things,
Yeah.
and
They have you
they
asking questions. They came and took my blood so many times. Like my
oh,
my mom, both my mothers came in, and so did my stepfather. Rest his soul. They all came in when I was code bluing. So they came into the hospital and was like, "We heard a code blue."
Yeah.
It was their daughter. It was me.
Yeah.
And so when they finally got me into the ICU, because I stayed in the ICU for a couple of days, they were coming and taking my blood so much because the heart doctor who gave me the epinephrine,
Mhm.
it damages your heart.
Yeah.
Epinephrine damages your heart.
oh,
It's
And so,
adrenaline.
right. So when he came in, he said, "Oh my God, your daughter's healing like Wolverine." And they just started pulling my blood and doing my blood. And my mom said, "No more."
yeah,
Like, you even need someone to say, "Hey,
stop.
why are you guys taking her blood so much?"
They had around 12 nurses poking and prodding me. They had took my blood from every vein that they could. Like they couldn't find a good
A good
vein
vein.
anymore because they're all dried out. So they finally, like after like the 16th try to put it in my hand, I finally screamed, "Get the away from me right
Yeah.
now." My husband's like, "Y'all gotta go."
Yeah.
Anesthesiologist, I said, "Somebody get in here with the ultrasound machine to find a vein if y'all need it that bad.
Yeah.
But I need all of you guys out of this room
Wow.
right now."
Yeah.
They
I
were
was
practicing
screaming.
on you.
Yeah.
Were.
That's
They
insane.
had the CNAs, not even like real like nurses. They have
Nurses.
CNAs, they have the other ones, the 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 blood actual people who pull your blood, the
Phlebotomist.
phlebotomist,
Yeah.
they have the nurse, they all couldn't get it. And I'm sitting there, I'm trying to be quiet at first because I already know myself.
Yeah.
And I'm getting to the point where y'all not giving me no pain medicine. Y'all not letting me eat. Y'all coming in here poking and prodding me. Y'all gonna see, you gonna get a
Yeah.
That's
side of me that's
insane.
crazy.
That's insane. And
Yeah.
that's
It's
why I
insane.
said hospitals should be required
Mm-hmm.
to have an advocacy group or have a nonprofit that they partner with that is there to fulfill all needs of the mothers. First of all, I don't even think they know, JJ. I don't even think they know
N-
what the needs of mothers are.
No, they
Mm-mm.
don't. And unfortunately, most of the time, these doctors are men.
Yeah.
How are you gonna tell me what I feel about my body?
Mhm.
Like, we're disconnected, completely
Yes.
disconnected of our needs.
Mhm.
There's so many,
And
there's so if you're watching and you're in the medical field, please contact the JJ show.
Yeah.
Yes, JJ show, and talk a little bit about what hospitals are you guys required
yes,
to have someone there? Like, are you guys already working with advocacy groups? Are you guys
Yeah.
do you have that in play? I
Right.
guarantee you don't, because
Mhm.
there was no one I could reach out to.
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody either.
Well, I
Probably
made a
didn't.
formal complaint with the hospital, with the liaison. They
Mm.
came to my room. I made a formal complaint. They sent a certified letter back, pretty much dismissing everything that I had said.
Oh my god.
Oh, and my hospital sent me a $54,000 bill, and I said I'm not paying a dime.
I'm like,
And
absolutely not.
and
Charge
go
it to the credit. And
Yeah.
put it on-
do whatever.
credit.
Whoever
Yeah, put it on
whoever
the credit.
put that
Yeah.
on her, yeah, you're gonna pay for that one.
Yeah, I was
Absolutely
like,
not.
somebody else,
Yeah.
give it to let somebody else have it, because it's
Yeah.
not. I'm not paying a
No,
dime.
Yeah.
absolutely
I-
not.
And I'm not saying that United Healthcare CEO getting killed was the right thing to do.
Right.
But you have people out here that are struggling. These
Yes.
CEOs, these top 1% are making billions, millions of dollars, while we have to settle for scraps and be at each other's necks all day.
All day.
Absolutely.
So,
All day.
I don't condone that, but these CEOs need to understand that this is not just your world. We are the worker ants
Right.
Yes.
that keep it running. If
Yeah.
it wasn't for us, you wouldn't be a billionaire.
You wouldn't. No. You
And
wouldn't be
that's-
able to pull our Medicaid money and
No,
our
right.
fund money, you know?
And Luigi's are what happens when people become desperate.
Yeah.
And you're seeing it. If they think that crime and desperation is only taking place in the projects, in the hoods of this nation. Just wait until you
Mhm.
see what happens when they continue to squeeze us from the bottom up.
Yes.
You know,
Mhm.
you're creating your own demise.
Yep.
And we are tired.
We
Yeah.
are. We
We are
most
tired.
definitely are. Most
Definitely.
definitely are.
And I think
All of
thank
the
you for having this.
communities. No,
No, I really
I really
appreciate it.
thank you ladies very,
Yeah.
very so much for sharing your stories. And I know it's very touchy, you know, but
Yeah.
I felt the need to share this because we recently just saw a video not too long ago of a woman actually getting her baby after she just had her baby in the hospital. Her baby was taken away from her.
Ain't no way.
And she's fighting police officers while she just had a baby, not even 24 hours. You know, we can't even walk. We're still in pain. We're still, everything hurts. Why will we have to sit there and actually go through something like
Couldn't
that?
imagine.
Yes. And then, you know, they send people home. They dismiss us all the time. Another lady actually had her baby in the car on her way back to the hospital
Because
after
they
getting,
kicked her out.
they kicked her
They
out
said that there's nothing that they can do. So she was driving to another hospital, had the baby in the car.
in the car while a typhoon is
Black
outside.
woman.
And
Yes.
this is why I love to educate America on, again, it's systemic, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a history of Americans taking um indigenous people's kids.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a history.
Yes,
Oh,
there is.
There's a
yes.
history of Americans taking Black people's kids.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
they're doing it now to migrants,
Yes.
taking their kids.
Mhm.
All the time.
So when you see something like that, that is very huge. I just drove to Leon County, 2 hours away. It's Centerville. I drove 2 hours away because on my way to cover the Universal Kids opening, I got pulled over because my front license plate was off. My husband forgot to put it back on, and I got pulled over with my mom and my two kids in the car. My son has high anxiety whenever because of YouTube,
Yeah.
he sees,
Police
police pulling
officers.
someone over. He's thinking mommy's going to go to jail. And
Yes.
so he unbuckles himself, and so does his sister.
Oh.
And when she pulls me over, she tells me let my window down after she talks to me about my license plate and stuff. She said, let your window down in the back to see who's in the car. I let him down. I was like, it's just my kids. And she was like, they're not buckled. I'm going to give you a child safety endangerment ticket.
Oh my gosh.
I said, hey,
The
wait a
nerve.
minute.
Yeah. No.
I was like, yeah, I was like, I
Mm.
explained it to her, and my son was like, oh my God, is my mom going to go to jail?
Oh.
And I was like, no, baby, calm down.
Yeah.
I told my mom, she gave me the ticket for a month later. I said, August 3rd, I will be there.
Yeah.
Because what you're not going to do is put on record that I had my kids endangered and now you have CPS coming after me for my children.
No.
We're not going to do that.
We're not. We're not going down that rabbit hole because of an assumption. You know,
Right.
like no, absolutely.
So
not.
thankfully I beat that case. It was completely dismissed. It was
Awesome.
asinine that she even gave me a ticket for that with my 68-year-old mother in the car. I was like, do you think I would not buckle my kids in? My mother's here.
Two-
We're
Two
buckled.
kids.
Right.
Everybody's buckled
And
in here.
buckled.
Yeah.
We're traveling.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's what, and I always say, I look at us and I say to myself sometimes, like, you can't talk about mental health without talking about our experiences here as Americans in this country. We
Very
are
true.
Americans in this country.
We
Yeah.
are. We are. We have rights.
I'm more American than African American.
Yeah.
And this is what the argument that Black people have with other Black people is that how am I African American if the last 3 generations of my family have been here?
Yeah.
I
We're
don't
integrated.
know.
We
I
don't
don't
know
know
our
a
past.
tribe. I don't know whose
Mhm.
family's still out there. I have no clue if I even still have roots there.
Mhm.
And I have, a lot to say about police. So I'll probably just be quiet on that one.
That's gonna
But
be another
I
segment.
yeah, thank you for that point though, because a lot of Americans, period. Same thing with
Yes.
Mexican Americans
Mexican,
and
Yes.
Hispanic Americans,
yeah,
Latino
It's the
Americans.
same thing.
Yeah, they're like, hey, I'm not first generation.
I'm like
three.
five generations
Because
deep.
they
It's
don't
me, my
say
mom, my
white
grandma.
Americans.
Right.
They just say Americans with
Yes.
them. They don't say European American.
They
Right.
don't.
They don't
They
say
don't say
South
German
African
American.
South African American.
They
Yeah,
don't.
for the ones that just came over here.
They
Yeah.
don't. They don't.
They don't do that.
But they categorize us into these categories and
Yeah.
make us feel less of, you know, and
Yeah.
that's where it comes. That's where that
Yeah.
oppression really starts coming
And
in,
that's where
you
that's
know,
where the
The mental,
psychological
and the
warfare.
psychological,
That's why your
yes.
doctor that was African was
Mm.
like, I'm not listening to you
Yeah.
because that's a
That's a
trained,
trained
It
thing.
is.
you
Yes,
know?
you're stronger.
Yeah.
Like, no,
No.
I feel pain.
Yeah.
If I hit myself here, I'm
Yeah,
gonna feel
I'm
that pain.
Right.
Like that's what it is. End of
Yeah.
story. Like,
Yeah.
help me, treat me. You
Yeah.
know, like I really do feel like I was even looking into like water births, home births.
Yeah.
You know,
Me
after
too.
I would have
after
loved
this,
to
Me
do something
too.
I
like
would have
that.
loved
Yeah.
that.
Especially with my first pregnancy, but you
Same.
know, being in it's an older town. It used to be a sundown town.
Mhm.
So I already knew before I
Right.
went in there that they were going to give me a
That they
C-section.
were gonna. Oh
Yeah.
my
And I just knew that I was gonna have the best pregnancy, no epidural.
Please.
This have been the best,
Yeah.
pregnancy. I'm gonna have the best delivery. I mean, and it just
It was
turned
the
left right
worst.
at the last
Mm,
minute.
well, me
Completely.
too. The
Completely.
last minute.
Yeah.
Can I ask y'all, for myself and for other mothers that could be watching this, how do you guys take care of your mental health and stay sustained? Especially you, 'cause you're
Psychiatric
newer.
visits,
Okay. So therapy.
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 I have ADHD really bad, so I take medicine for ADHD.
Oh, me
I'm
too.
right there.
Yeah.
You know,
We're there.
you know, hormones real crazy. I was taking antidepressants for the last like 3 months, and then I'm weaning off of them because I'm starting to feel a little bit better.
Okay.
So, you know, having my husband is my rock when it comes to a lot of things. So having him to talk to, laugh with, just make
Yeah.
things lighter because I
Yes.
make things so heavy, but I don't mean to.
Huge shout out to the
No.
writer.
You
Huge
know?
shout out to the writer.
Yeah. Yes, the
So,
support. Yeah,
you know,
and it's not even that. I almost feel like once we're in it, I feel like the postpartum depression that you get
it's
afterwards. First of all, it's so real. I feel like every woman goes through it.
yeah,
I had it. I know you had it. You had it. Probably everybody. My mom had it. Everybody
yeah,
has it. It's so crucial in those moments. Like people don't understand you
yeah.
in the sense of like I'm going through hormones. I have to care for my baby and care for myself and care for the
The
rest of
whole
the
house.
house and
Still gotta
work
cook, still
and
gotta
cook
clean, still
and
gotta
clean. We can't move like that. And I
nah.
feel like we really in those moments, I wish that everyone would have a support group.
Yeah.
Some type of, like you're saying, a group where we
Nonprofit
feel
that
safe and we feel like our needs are actually normal. It's not
yeah.
something out of this world that
No.
we're like asking for too much or we're like
Right.
it shouldn't we should not feel like that.
Yeah.
We
Right.
should feel so empowered to the fact that we're great mothers first of
Yes.
all. We're
Absolutely.
great women because we're women
Absolutely.
because we're women first and then mothers second.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
feel like we have to do that and it's so crucial, you know, to
Yeah.
have that support in those times. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't have it,
No.
unfortunately. A lot of people, I've gone through, you know, the postpartum struggle.
Yeah.
I've gone through the weight gain and the
Oh
everything
my
else.
God.
Like,
Still
let's
trying
not
to
talk
get that
about it.
weight
No,
off.
I've
She
been
just
going
turned
through ups and
you.
downs.
I'm still trying to get that. I remember you bringing that little baby on the little carrier with you.
Oh,
And I used to see all the time, like, dang, she's strong because
yes.
it's hard to
It
do
is
that.
so
And then to
insanely
get up, ask
hard.
questions, to be writing and doing, man,
Multitasking, putting a bib in a
yeah,
bottle and a
yes.
diaper change, and
yes.
you know, we go through so much, you know,
Yeah.
and I really feel like we, like you said, we need more support groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in those postpartum times.
Yeah.
We need to follow up with the moms and be like, what do you need help in?
Yeah.
Man, make frozen meals,
Even
make
if it's virtual, right?
Yeah,
Like,
anything,
even if
somebody
it's
just
to
like to
talk
virtual,
to.
talk
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yes, that feels what I'm feeling, that it's another woman, another mother,
Yeah.
you know,
That's going
speaking
through,
on
yeah.
on the same things, on the similar things that we've had.
Yeah.
This is why this is so important. This
Yes, it
conversation that we're
is.
having, black, brown, any color that you really
Yeah.
are,
Absolutely.
mothers go through a lot.
Yes,
we
we
do.
do.
And we should not sit there and neglect ourselves
Yeah.
and not voice ourselves, you
Yeah.
know, because it's like they do it in the hospital. You
Yes,
said
they
you
do.
asked for pain medicine and this and that, and they were like, "Oh, you're okay."
Yeah.
It's not that. It's
Yeah.
not that. Someone has to be there to be like, "Hey, she needs this.
She needs that.
Like, you need to go do something, but she needs this." Like,
Mhm.
and be that stern person in there,
Yeah.
you know, and back up and that backbone and afterwards, even
Yeah.
afterwards, you know, even if it is with lawyers, even if it
Yeah.
is with, you know, support groups
Support to get
and
those lawyers, or support to go get medical records, or
Yeah.
just a phone call, a video chat.
Yes.
Maybe somebody can come help you clean your house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come
And
help
thank
you
you.
make
Like,
dinner.
and
Have
dinner, yeah, the
midwives and
meals,
doulas
yeah.
after, you know, the
Yeah.
support
Yeah.
afterwards is what's so
The
important.
support afterwards is good.
It
Yeah.
is most
And
definitely.
I'm glad that you said, black, brown, white, and different. White women, y'all die too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
Not
They're
as much as
saying
we
you
do.
And not at the
don't.
rate that we
We
do.
do.
Not at the rate we do.
No.
But you guys die too.
Yeah.
This
Too.
is your fight too.
Too.
It is.
Yeah.
Before we were on air, we were talking about how the data was not being collected in Mississippi, who had the highest mortality rates for babies, infant mortalities, 9.6, and the whole average was so high. Black women, of course, were
Yeah, of course.
15.2.
Of course.
The
Doubled.
Yeah.
Hispanic women, I think they were around like 7, and
Mhm.
then white women were 5.8 of their babies who died. Your babies are dying
Yeah.
too.
Ooh,
And they're getting
yes.
rid of your hospitals and taking away of your resources in your small towns too.
Yep.
Yes.
This is not a race
It's not a
issue
race
It's
when
not.
it comes
to sticking together.
yeah, when
not.
it comes to
should-
support for
Mhm.
mothers. This is a race issue when it comes to how the hospitals are treating us and
Yes.
killing us and killing our babies.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when it comes to support for mothers, you too
Yeah.
Yes.
need to advocate, rally behind, and
Mhm.
use your voice as a mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
'Cause I don't care if there was a support group and I called somebody and it was a white woman that came help me clean up and do something, I wouldn't give a damn.
I don't care. At that
Because
point,
I just
help.
need some
I
help.
just need help.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we
You
needed
know,
was help.
And we talked off air before too about how we're at each other's necks. They want us all to be so,
Separated.
separated.
But we're
Mhm.
going
But
through the
we're
same
going through
thing.
the same things.
Yeah.
And don't allow what we say black women are going through this. That is facts.
Yeah.
Don't think that we're negating what you went through. This goes back to the all lives matter or black lives matter.
Right.
Yeah. No.
We know
No,
that all
all
lives
lives
matter.
matter.
We
Yes.
do.
Like
know
I
that.
never thought like that was gonna be how big that it was.
No.
Yes.
Yes, all lives matter.
Yeah.
But right now we're not focused on black and brown lives.
We're speaking on a specific
speaking on
problem
specific
that's going
things.
on a
Yes.
daily.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
In regards to
It
all
is.
aspects, hospitals, police, jails,
Yes.
Oh,
Children.
jails,
Children.
Yeah.
schools.
schools.
I mean, it's
We're
the
fighting
list
on
goes
all
on
fronts.
and
prison
on.
in Conroe.
Yes.
But the billions of dollars that you guys could use to help these kids read
Mhm.
is what you should have spent that money on.
Mhm.
Yes.
Food.
Like third or fourth
gas.
grade.
Like yeah.
Yes.
Third or fourth grade. If kids aren't reading at the right level, it's a school to prison pipeline.
Yes.
They make a prison in the area because they know when them kids grow up that's going to be straight
to
there.
them.
Yeah, and that's billions of
That's
dollars.
billions of dollars.
And then and the prison system is just horrible in its aspect, and it's supposed to be reform. You're supposed to reform in prison, but there's no reformation
no
happening in
reformation.
prison.
There
Like,
the
isn't.
How can
recidivism
you-
rate
where?
when people get out is so high because
Right.
you
Yes.
most people that you don't equip them when they go in and you don't equip when they come out.
Come out. Yeah, you have to give them the tools.
Yeah.
Instead, you set them up
Set 'em up.
to
Yes.
return.
Parole,
And
probation.
then tell them, like, prime example, gang affiliates. The reason why, and that's another thing too, it's like learning each other's culture.
Yeah.
Me and JJ talk about
We
this all the
do.
time. You have to learn other people's culture.
Yes.
The reason why a black or brown kid is in a gang to begin with is because they don't
They
have
don't
family.
have family.
Yeah.
So
it's
when you
home.
tell them they get out of prison and you tell them you cannot be around any gangs, where do they go?
Yeah.
Because that
'Cause
was
that's
their
their
family.
family.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
why haven't you set them up
Yeah.
with a place to go, with a family to be with
Yeah.
Mhm.
when they get out of prison? No, you just release them back into their old set so you can return them back to the prison and continue to make money.
And
Mhm.
do the
It's
same
a
cycle. It's a complete
But our
circle cycle.
food, look at our food. They added 3 more forever chemicals that have us up to
Yes.
5 forever
I don't
chemicals
even
now.
wanna
Yeah.
talk
That is
about
in
the
our
food.
food. Our the gas prices, you guys.
Ugh.
Again, I'm appealing to all white people now. Like
Right now.
we're having the same problems.
Issues. The same issue.
Your gas is the same at that gas station that I go to, no matter what neighborhood you live in.
That's it.
Yes, it.
The groceries are probably a little more expensive in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
But it's
But
the
it's
same
still
forever
the same
chemical.
thing.
Still the chemicals. We got them outbreaks going on right now. I'm
The
so
water-
scared
Oh
to
my
eat.
goodness.
right.
You
The
can't eat anything now. No
Can't eat
lettuce,
anything,
no this,
lettuce,
no nothing.
cilantro. I'm like, dang, that was
Everything
my
green that
almost
we
every
eat.
day, right?
And
Me and my
especially being
husband,
here in
we
like
Texas.
just
salsas, man,
went-
every
we
day.
just went like vegetarian for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go back to eat meat, and then all of a sudden, Cyclospora, and I'm like, oh no,
Oh,
this is not
Yeah,
I
good,
can't.
yeah.
and
I
it's
can't.
real.
My son asks me every single day, whenever he sees any type of lettuce or any type of grapes, this is not the
This
explosive
is not it, right?
diarrhea one, huh?
This ain't the sick one, right?
Is
Yes.
it? No, it
But
definitely is. I do want to give you a couple of just a stats. Talking about what we've talking about the maternity.
mhm,
So Black maternal mortality rates are 3 times higher than the white woman. So we've
mhm,
been speaking about how we really do get hit. You guys get hit a lot more than we do, even Hispanics, and it was very alarming to see that because it's 3 times the rate
mhm.
of anyone, walking into a hospital, which it breaks my heart. Native Americans also, they're at 121 deaths per 100,000 babies that are
Yeah,
born.
yeah.
They're up there too. So we're not just specifically talking about just one race or two race or three. It's all of us
Yeah,
Yeah.
collectively.
yeah.
You know, Asian women stand at the 18% per every 100,000 children as well.
Yeah.
So all of us are up there in numbers.
Mhm.
It's over the 10%, So 1 in 10 women that go in there, something's happening,
Yeah.
and we have to speak on this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't stay quiet anymore. Um, and we were actually talking about how you're very educated. You've had degrees
Mhm.
and you have all of this. This is
Yeah.
the next one here. College educated Black mothers will face higher mortality rates than the white mothers without with a high school diploma.
Right.
Yeah.
And the risks that they reach are 62% more than the other mothers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's mind
Absolutely.
blowing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter your education. They're treating us
It's because
all
they try
alike.
when you are educated and then they know that, they try to do more things to belittle you, to make
Mhm,
you feel
mhm.
like,
Less of
yeah,
and
because I don't care if you got an education, we're still
Mhm.
in control of your bodily
Yes,
autonomy right now.
yes,
Yes.
So
yes,
it's a power thing.
It
yes.
It's a control thing.
It is.
And
And use us as experiments.
yes,
We have been huge shout out to Henrietta Lacks.
huge
She's
shout
like,
out.
they use us as experiments.
They
They
do.
use our bodies as experiments. It is a huge psychological warfare.
It
Mhm.
And
is.
this is something that is in training, you know, and I would love, of course, I'm not an investigative journalist,
Mhm.
but I would love to see if investigative journalists have went down the rabbit hole of why
Yeah.
Mhm.
are we still having
This
the same
Come.
systemic issues
Mhm.
when it comes to maternal health.
I almost did
Yes.
it. I almost did it myself. As a
Yeah.
freelance journalist, I almost knocked that door down. But once you start doing that, it
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 takes
takes
time.
it takes time, it takes energy, and it takes a lot of context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And sometimes years. People
years.
don't understand that. People look at us as media professionals, as freelance journalists, and they look at us and say, "Oh, you should do a month of research and then have all the answers." Baby, this
A
takes
month.
years,
Month.
years.
Years.
Yeah.
Years of stuff
You can't
going
follow
on.
the money in a month.
No. Oh,
This
absolutely not.
No,
No, no,
this
no,
is
no.
years.
It
And I'm like,
is.
if someone takes that on,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would love to support,
Yeah.
We will support.
because
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
this is we have to say enough is enough.
Enough
It is.
for ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most
We can't
definitely.
depend on anybody to fix it for us because we've seen that that's not going to
It
happen.
doesn't work.
We have to have people that are watching this that have those abilities, that are journalists, that are media professionals, that are researchers,
Right.
to
Yes.
come together and really find the root cause and narrow it, you know? And I think a support group would be a great way to get things started firstly,
Yes.
you know?
I
Agreed.
definitely agree. I did want to say like just three things before we do leave. You know, it's very hard. These conversations are hard to have.
Yeah.
And I really just try to like put everything in one and just kind of give like 3 pointers. Please, please, women, mothers to be, if you have a sister, a brother, an aunt, anybody that can have a baby in these times, have a support group.
Yeah.
Have a support group. Have an advocate, someone that can advocate for you if you go down, under anesthesia. can't speak for yourself.
Yeah.
You have to have someone there that has a birth plan, they're on the same page with you, that are gonna sit there and actually say no.
Yeah.
Right.
And the third one is, you have birth rights.
Yeah.
You have rights walking into any hospital.
Yeah.
You do not have, you can refuse
Yes.
things. You could say, no, I don't want that. I don't
Yep.
want the epidural.
Mhm.
No, I'm not going to have a C-section. No, I'm not going to do this and that and that. And I feel like sometimes we overlook that because they're doctors and they
Yeah.
have this doctorate degree, and they know what they're talking about.
Mhm.
But you know your body.
Yeah.
We know our body.
Yeah.
And that's so important to let other women know, and other mothers to be. Advocate for yourself. Have a support group, have someone that's going to be there, and no matter what, just to get through that process
With you.
in the hospital,
Yeah.
because out of the hospital is something else. You could have support group outside, but I feel like in these hospitals, where it's just the rates, as what we're going through, they're too high.
Yeah.
We need to come down, lower those rates, mortality rates, malpractice rates.
Yeah.
Very, very strong stories that you both have, and I'm so pleased to have you guys here, and thank you. I want to thank you because your stories mean a lot,
Yeah.
and they have to be shared with everybody.
It's a
Not
testimony.
only really appreciate you. Thank you, Shanice.
No,
thank you,
you.
Totally Randy, for being here. You guys are amazing people, amazing moms, and oh my gosh, I'm just so thankful for you guys to be here. I'm
So
really,
happy to
really
be here. I'm
thankful.
so
Thank
happy.
you,
Appreciate it.
thank you,
So
thank
We
you
love
guys.
you. Yes,
We love you
JJ.
too.
Yes, go JJ.
Thank you, ladies. This is going to just be one conversation of many, but we do want to just, have real stories. This is a place to have real stories, to have a safe space to do so, and to actually advocate and have a movement behind our stories, not just talking about it, but actually having a step further,
Yeah.
and I really feel like this is the first step. Now let's advocate for others as well. So I thank you so much. Again, I thank you so much for coming to the SJJ show. I'm so pleased to have you guys. Please subscribe. Please follow these two beautiful mothers and two ladies. They have their journalists in Houston. Follow and support. Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you. Have a great one. Yay. Thank you guys.
You're welcome. Thank you.